what a concept.
Yeah, well, and it's also, couldn't really drink the water. Give them something that keeps their strength up, and then, and then it makes them keep working. So at the end of the day, you can send them back to their sharecroppers' cabins or whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds like mash. The mash you make before you distill is what that sounds like.
Yeah. Maybe that's what
pretty
they
much.
do with it afterwards.
Yeah. we could make some rum out of this.
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some really interesting. Well, another one is Sir Kennel Digby's, and actually,
Yes.
Mazer Cup is doing a Make Your Best Mead from Digby. It's
Okay.
Yeah, well, no, but there's some good recipes in there. But the thing is you have to take those and use modern techniques and sensible brewing practices so that you can actually, because they will make good balanced meads. Now the flavor profiles might be completely different than what we're used to, but that's because what they ate then. I mean, I work in living history foodways, so I do brewing demonstrations from like Renaissance England all the way up to colonial America. And the one thing, and I've really learned, because I'm also participating with the food people, because they're coming over and getting supplies from me, and I'm getting herbs from them and things like that. And so I'll get to eat some of these foods, and the flavor profiles and the combinations that they did then are so alien to what we are used to.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, God, that sounds really gross. And often I've tried it and thinking, this is really going to be really gross, but I'll choke it down because it looks good to the people who are like standing there watching us eat. And it's turned out to be actually quite good. I mean,
okay.
It sounded gross. Like, I'm sorry, you put what on that beef? I don't think so. And I'll try it, and it'll be really, really good. So I have learned to be really open-minded about what I think I like until I try it.
Yeah, probably a good idea to be that way.
Yeah. Well, and I've made it a practice, at least in mead recipes, to never assume that it's going to make crap mead until it's made crap mead. Because, again, all right, if you take something and throw burnt bread in it and then bung it up for 4 days, that's probably going to make crap mead. But if you take that same recipe and then do it with modern techniques and staggered nutrient additions and a decent yeast and all of that, who knows what it would make with those same ingredients, without the toast, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe knowing a little bit about sanitation could make just a minor improvement.
Just a little bit. And, most times they were also working with, like, wild yeast in a lot of cases, or what came off the bread, if not that.
Yeah.
So, it's... I've come to believe that many things can be pretty good. Now, there are some of those recipes that are really horrible no matter what you do. And I have run across those. Some of the chocolate mead recipes that were going around the SCA about 15 years ago. Yeah, there was one that was really awesome and is still made today, and then there's a couple of them that are just horrible. They're just really bad, and there's just nothing you can do to fix that.
Yeah, it's kind of like you get to a lot of these homebrew competitions and even some of the pro competitions, everybody's decided, well, we need to do a peanut butter beer. Okay, well, it's usually not something you would ever want a full glass of, let alone more than that.
I've been impressed with how well that the ones that I've tried so far are the PB&J meads, because there's several of them. I've been impressed with how balanced they are, that they're well balanced and fairly well constructed. I don't like them personally, but that's just me. I'm not a big fan of PB&J sandwiches, so
that's probably that's like.
Yeah, I mean, I like peanut butter. Don't get me wrong, but grape jam, and a lot of them use a grape note for the jam note. I don't like grape jam. I hate grape jam. I OD'd on grape jam as a kid, so I don't touch the stuff. So,
I really hate Concord grapes.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, my dad had them growing when we were kids, and we had garbage bags full of grapes to the point, it was worse than zucchini. You couldn't leave it with your neighbors; they'd stop talking to you. And yeah, my mom made grape everything. I so OD'd on Concord grapes. To this day I can't eat them. You know.
There goes my plan to get you a bunch of Welch's grape juice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just throw it in your face and sneer at you. Well, going nya while I drink a bottle of Schramm's mead. So there.
That's right.
There you go.
Hey, just to be clear, you were talking about the Digby? Is it the Kennel
Sir
Digby?
Kennel Digby's Closet Unlocked, and it's actually available clear text on the internet. It's way out of copyright, so anybody can go get it and download it.
Yeah, it's free.
Yep, it's so old that the copyright concept is newer than it.
Predates copyrights, yeah.
Yeah, I see it here. I actually already got it on my Kindle. The Closet of Sir Kennelm. Kennelm. Yeah. Okay. And make a recipe from that and see what happens.
I'll link it on the show page too. Yeah, it's hilarious. You can buy it on Amazon, or you can just download it off Project Gutenberg.
Well, there are always people that would, never even think, and they, want to pay for it.
Yep. Well, I mean, you can get a bound version, and if that's what makes you happy, by all means, do so. But
well, the hardcover is $35 if you want a hardcover of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What gets me is that somebody lifted that, and since there's no copyright, I guess they can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's obviously tracing any descendants that should get any royalties would be really difficult after this many generations.
After 450 years. Yeah. Yeah, because that came out in the 1500s, 1600s?
I think it's 1600s, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's old.
It is. Look at that.
It's and the interesting thing is it's very popular with living history people, with SCA people who are interested in the historical application of alcohol. There's another good book that I like, and it doesn't have any mead recipes in it, but it has a lot of really neat food and drink recipes in it. Is the Henry VIII's Kitchen, and it's Hampton Court Palace Kitchen cookbook, and mine is all covered in greasy fingerprints because I'm constantly using it at events. So you can tell the pages that I use the most because there's dirty fingerprints there, and it's hilarious.
That's cool. Yeah, I just had it auto delivered wirelessly to my Kindle.
There you go.
For free.
Technology amazing.
It's amazing.
It is.
Yep. Sometimes it's really handy.
It is. Yeah. Because the Mazer Cup, Pete was telling me this the other day, the Mazer Cup is doing a side competition for making great mead from Digby. So,
Do you have to use an egg as your hydrometer?
I don't know.
I know some of his recipes called for things like that, if I remember correctly.
I'm pretty sure the Mazer Cup would be saying to go ahead and use your hydrometer. Because, I actually did float an egg on one once just to see if that worked.
Well, I'm sure, there's some variation from egg to egg.
There is. And what type of egg, too? Is it a hen's egg, a quail's egg, an ostrich egg? Who knows?
I guess that would matter a lot, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Probably not, actually. The egg cycle's probably going to be proportionally within a set tolerance no matter which egg you're going to use.
Yeah, what would matter is the age of the egg. That would matter.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, because they lose moisture with time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and old eggs float.
Right, they're more floaty. The older they are, the floatier they are. So how do you know?
Yeah, when they stink, they're at the top of the water.
It's true. I guess you'd have to first do it in water, figure out how old the egg is, and then go to a table.
That sounds like a lot of work. I think I'll just use the hydrometer.
I think I'll just use the hydrometer, yeah.
Somebody's going to geek out on that now. Figure it out.
Oh, floating an egg on?
Yeah, floating an egg. There's a table that you put it in water first, and then when you get here, okay, now you know that. I can see it now.
And then what if I hard boil the egg first?
There you go. Yeah. If you hard boil it,
it should see. Oh no, it still has an air.
No, it would still be age related because it would still have more air in it, or the older it is. So when you hard boil it, I don't know.
Yeah,
boy, we could really have fun with that.
We really could. Yeah, we could have like an experiment.
You guys tell me how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, Manny, if I could just ask a quick question. Is your Skype noise on? Because I'm hearing a few bloops coming through.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, it's definitely Manny then. Go fix this sound, please.
Somebody write something and let me see if you can hear it.
Thank you.
Nope. Wasn't me.
No.
Well, it's fixed now. It's gone away. So, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was him, but he's just not admitting it. That's all. He's sitting there. He's sitting there like, "Was me, man."
As the sound
my mic is off.
disappears.
I turned my mic off. That's why you can't hear it. Okay.
Okay.
No.
So I'm looking through all this stuff that you sent us, Steve, and
yeah,
okay. So you guys saw Ken and Dan, and then you knew that good mead was possible, but then it was still taking like forever to get mead to work.
Oh yeah, we were still started doing not a great improvement in our process yet. We learned that a part of Ken's presentation, if I remember right at that point, they did I think like 6 different strains, the same musts fermented 6 ways just so you could compare them. It's like, oh, okay, we could try all those other yeasts, and wow. And then a bunch of varietal honeys, all with the same strain. So there was some, we learned a lot from those sessions, but there was still more to learn.
Yeah. Well, and Ken's book must have come out shortly after that.
Yeah, when did I think didn't that come out in like 2002, 3, somewhere like
Might
that?
Have been, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Couple years, 3-4 years.
It was probably, let's see, I think that was the HA conference in '94.
Oh gosh, and that was quite a while then.
And then his book, I know, was out when the conference was in Chicago, whatever year that was. It was out by then. I suppose I could look in my copies here. Let's see, can I reach them?
Oh, wow, he's got that stuff like right to hand.
Well, I'm sitting by a bookcase full of brewing and mead making books. If I can just find the one I'm looking for, which is somewhat of a challenge. What is the copyright?
Annals of Mead Making.
2003.
Okay. So that was a good what, 6-7 years then, yeah.
So when he did the talk in Denver, and if I remember right, he and Dan probably did another session at the next year's HA, and probably the year after, and
well, and he was
eventually said, could you?
After Mead got going, once I put a forum on there, which was like, I don't know, 97 or 98, Ken was one of the ones that actually came into the forum. Plus, he was talking about this stuff in the Mead Lovers Digest, which was going strong.
Yeah, there's one that I completely forgot about way back.
The MLD was great, man. That was just, I've got the entire...
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, he gave me the entire MLD is actually up on Got Mead, which is great because it's stopped now, but there's so much information in there. So much information.
Yep. Yeah, all those email kind of things just kind of died out as people wanted alternative ways of getting their info, I guess.
Well, social media kind of took over, and regular forums and that. So yeah, email lists didn't really hold on very long. But it dropped to like once a week, and then once every 2 weeks, and then like 4 posts a month.
And once a year if necessary.
Yeah. That was because he kept sending out, going, "I'll send one out when I've got enough emails to make it, worth sending one out." And But yeah, I mean, we were doing all of that stuff, and so I got the idea to do a